data that we can pull about like what our workforce currently is, and then there's like this whole matrix of like what certain positions are on like a scale of like medium, high, and low exposure of like certain positions, like.
Oh, Donnie, what's going on?
Well, because nowadays it's
Like we were talking about when we were last week or something with real estate. It's like, it's going to be like low on analysis, for
Huge
example.
group
It's like,
today.
you're not gonna, that's not going to be as high. The AI is going
Too many
to.
people laugh at me when I screw this
For
up.
example, so there, I did that, and we're.
How's it going?
There's somebody had asked about doing it, so.
and are we looking at in regards to just the work, we're looking for hours of work or.
So like if we had 5,000.
Well, remember when we used to come like an hour
exposure is
early because
high,
they would put
that
it on our
they could
calendars?
potentially-
What now?
They used to put it on our calendars.
Right, that's what I
We would
was-
show up
10
So we
years
just
and their
sit there
jobs are
for.
longer.
Yeah.
So like sweet.
So was it still the sun 11:30?
They don't do
Put it at
work.
11? I
Yeah,
couldn't remember.
something like
And
that.
it's like so awesome.
But we were always on
I
time.
don't like it.
Right.
So impersonal. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm ordering from this machine now.
And we've already set up a
Sure,
payment
and it feels so
table.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's good team building.
Oh, really?
Why can I take the order and it's not, yeah. Even my, one of my close friends, her sister graduated from Sonoma State over the weekend, and it was not a human person reading their names, their
No
graduation.
way.
It was AI.
Wow, that's.
Yeah, it was interesting.
You don't get
It's supposed to be like more accurate, I guess,
I was
but I
gonna say
don't
the
think
point
it
of that
was.
is
Yeah.
like name pronunciation is such a problem.
Yeah, but it was, what was interesting is like, I
I can
don't
see it
think it
still,
was
yeah.
still, but so there was somewhere we were just kind of like laughing. I'm like, you could tell it was like, you know, a computer.
The way my car pronounces people's names when I go to, like, I have to
Really?
Call
mispronounce
people,
it.
yeah.
Sometimes I'll like, it'll be something simple, like call Janelle, it'll be like, call who? And it's naming all these other names. And so finally, like, I'll try to think, how could it think of, call Jay Neal?
Yeah.
And it'll be like, okay, calling Jay Neal.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Right,
Happens.
right, because
They go
like
up
some
on
people's
channel.
names, right, it's not a phonetic.
I mean, it's just
sounding, or, like,
AI
different
making the same
languages.
mistakes we all missed.
Sure, or like different languages, different, yeah. Pronunciation.
Well, the hardest
So
thing
I
is
saw
when you
that
are
too with
presenting
some.
awards.
Oh, it's
for
so-
the National Arts Program, and I felt like it was
Yeah.
just all these different languages. And
Yeah.
I have practiced before, and I put my enunciation next to it of like reminders of how to say things.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is,
Right.
mess up something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the point of that with the
Yeah.
graduations, but
Yeah.
still,
Blame it
it's
on
not,
AI instead of
it's not
person.
perfect, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did used to do commencements and have to put those together, and I would rather blame it on AI. But it is a little weird, I agree.
Scott may not be able to make it.
Gosh.
Alrighty, Mr. Guest Chair, whenever you're ready.
All right, I'll try not to goof this up too bad. Time is 11 o'clock. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Recording secretary, can you please take roll?
Absolutely. Board Member Sweet,
Here,
Board Member Anderson,
Present.
Board Member Pace.
Here.
Let the record reflect that all board members are present with the exception of Chair Rivero and Board Member Renteria.
Remote participation under the Brown Act, I don't believe there is any needed for today. Is there any modifications to the agenda?
So,
Seeing none. This is the time for public comments, when any persons may address matters not listed on the agenda, but which are within the subject matter of the jurisdiction. The public may comment on agenda items. When the item is called, each speaker is allowed 3 minutes. Are there any members of the public?
not really seeing anyone.
Any no remote ones? All right, very good. Okay, we need to approve the minutes for, let's see, for September, I believe.
We had 3 sets of minutes.
Yeah, 3 sets of them now. Let's see there. Do we have any changes to the September minutes? September 25th minutes? Seeing none, minutes are approved as amended, or not amended, as submitted. Do we have any changes for the October 23rd minutes? Seeing none, minutes are approved as submitted. Any changes to the January 29th minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are approved as submitted. New business, schedule items, the announcement. Do we have any new business?
We got the one, 6.1.
6.1, that's it? Okay, very good. Recommended action is approve the selection panel recommendation for the event support funding distributions for July 1st, 26th through December 31st of 2006. That was Meredith.
I will be presenting. Thank you, Chair. So today I'll be reviewing with you the recommendation for event support funding for events from July 1 till end of this year, December 31st, 2026. The event support program supports events and activities that attract overnight visitors and promote Santa Rosa as a destination. Eligible activities may include festival, conferences, multi-day productions, or media projects that generate hotel stays and visitor spending. The application period opened from February 1st to March 31st of this year for events that were scheduled between July 1 through December 31st. We received 22 applications, 4 were ineligible, and 8 of those were new applicants. So the selection panel met, and first they all scored virtually on a scale from 1 to 5. The criteria included how well the event supported the goals of the SRTBI board by increasing overnight visitation to the area, how effectively the event planned to market outside of Sonoma and neighboring counties, and then overall quality and completeness of the application. The review process, they scored virtually, and then they met on May 6th from 9 to 11 o'clock to evaluate the applications and determine the funding recommendations. So the recommendation we have today is for an overall of $50,000. And this is for Snoopy Senior World Hockey, $10,000. The Santa Rosa Marathon, $10,000. Running Fence at 50, which is a show at the Museum of Sonoma County, $10,000. Wine Country Classic Bowling, $7,000. Coop There It Is 90s Festival, $5,000. Try to Inspire, $2,500. Hollow Film, $2,000. Original Copy Film, $2,000. Railroad Square Music Festival, $1,000, and Wednesday Night Market, $500. And I've also noted with an asterisk the new event applications that are in there. So we have 4 new events receiving funding. And then here we have a list of the applications that were not recommended for funding, along with the ones that were ineligible. All of the ineligible ones were actually taking place outside of the guidelines for the timeframe of this event. So the recommendation today is to approve the selection panel recommendation for event support funding distributions for July 1 through December 31st, 2026.
Thank you, Meredith. I'll open it up for discussion. Anyone has any comments or any members of the public?
Where does Wine Country Classic Bowling happen?
That's a multi-day event. They have an event at the Flamingo at La Rosa, and then there is part of the event that's outside of Santa Rosa, which is why the request was larger. So we wanted to distribute it to the funds that were in Santa Rosa.
Yeah. I was curious about how that makes sense if they add other components to their event. I was like,
They're all
I
at
don't think
the
there's
center,
I don't think
yeah.
there's a place in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone that calls themselves a bowling. I love Epicenter, but bowling leagues don't tend to like that. Bowling. Okay. And then how much did Wednesday Night Market ask for? Out of curiosity.
Yeah. And also do note
5,000.
that, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Was it 5,000? A lot of these do apply for community promotions funding.
Yeah.
And some of those that were not recommended for funding, that are nonprofits, do receive that.
6,000.
6,000 was requested. However, that the community promotions funding has not been approved yet for next fiscal year, so we also can't rely on that either, but.
Okay. I know it's hard not being on the committee coming in and asking questions in advance, right, where you talk through thoroughly the applications, and I don't have them in front of me.
I have the applications here too, so if you have any specific questions, we're happy to go over it.
I'm sure, clearly you looked at the criteria of overnight stays, so that's, I'm sure you did that job. I think the thing that comes to mind for me is Wednesday Day Market is just seeing how they've really transformed the types of events that are coming that, or maybe historically you could have said it doesn't really apply as much to increasing overnight stays, but today they're bringing in bigger name bands and there's room to do that. I don't know what they're specifically doing in terms of the marketing, but I don't know if anyone from the committee has any, or staff or team has any thoughts on.
So, well, they're allowing Hotel E and Art House, just I happen to be affiliated with those, but to book a special rate room for Wednesday night, and it includes 2 tickets to the VIP tent. So that's an idea to kind of help generate room nights.
Yeah.
Also help with tracking too, to see
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah, how
actually
many
bringing
book,
people
right.
into the area or not. You know, there's some disagreement on whether or not it's actually bringing people into the area or not.
Yeah.
I think you
I
have
know
a
that-
valid point with the names that they brought in last year, like with Asia and Flock of Seals and stuff, there's potential there.
Well, the night of Fuel, we were 100% sold out. And for a Wednesday night, that's really not usual, as well as last week too. Now, the event last night, really, I don't think it did too much.
Right.
Were there any events that you can see that were not given funding that you think might
I
provide?
can pull that up
relief?
here too.
Well, and so a lot of these had historical numbers that you would have explored, right, to look at as far as ones that didn't get funding. Sure, those decisions were based on
So,
historical
so we
numbers.
have all the questions through the application
Yeah.
on sort of the anticipated amount of stays. This year, we also do have Placer AI data. So some of these events, we did start looking at a bit on, you know, historically, like how many people are coming into the area. And that's something we can also do a lot more in the future. And potentially after the ones funded through this round, we could always bring back the Placer AI data on all of those events and report back what that's also telling us in regards to their event recap reports. So
Yeah, I think that's a huge opportunity to leverage for this. It'd be great going forward.
Yeah, there was one event, I don't remember which one, that I didn't think that it had brought in a lot of people from out of the area, but then with the AI tracking the cell phones and stuff, it actually showed a lot of people from out of the area come in, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
And kind of also, we talked about like trying to fund new events and kind of cut some of the funding off of the older events off a little bit, because they're kind of going like, even though we did give good money to Marathon and Snoopy, but you know, we need more new events and we need to support those. And you know, so I don't know. I know as part of the master plan, if there's money budgeted towards, you know, trying to bring new events to Santa Rosa, like paying someone to go out and to try to get new events possibly is something to think of next year. But this bowling thing is going to bring in teams.
Yeah.
And that's going to be big room nights. It could be a big deal.
Great.
Hopefully they stay in Santa Rosa.
Right.
Well, I think that mix is important, right, bringing in new events and not neglecting some of the historical events that, right, not treating them like they're here forever because they're established, right? They could decide to go do business somewhere else. So I think it's a balance, for sure.
Yeah.
Right, that, I think an approach that acknowledges both is important. It looks like that's what you've done here. Yeah.
We try.
That's what you've done,
Right.
as far as the committee decisions, yeah. Okay. I think those are my,
Anything else?
questions.
Very good. Any other comments or discussion items? Any members of the public? Seeing none?
So, yeah, we would just need a motion and a
Make
second
motion, yeah,
to approve.
approve the recommendation I'll make a motion, or somebody else needs to make a motion to approve the funds as
I will
suggested.
make a motion to approve the
Second.
funding. Great.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
That'll work, yeah.
Seeing none, motion's passed. Meredith, did you have any department reports?
I do not.
I don't either, so. All right, I guess that's it. I will adjourn the meeting if there's nothing else.
Yep.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Record time.